I've had a message to share. I've kind of been just going through phases, levels of realignment with God, realignment, getting back to that place where I have peace again, and I feel the presence. I'm carrying that presence of God, not just when I feel a certain way in the middle of the day, but I'm trying to carry his presence, not just feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, your number one goal in life should be to carry what God has for you to carry. And that number one is his presence, his Holy Spirit, which gives us gifts that are so amazing and profound that no man could even tell you unless they had the Holy Spirit too. Otherwise, they might call you crazy like they did to the many, many prophets before us and persecute you. But the beautiful thing is, there are promises regarding our safety. And if you go back to Jeremiah 15, the Lord is upset, like angry with these people, but not really in the way where you could think in a human level, because you can't surprise God, okay? Nobody's catching him off guard, okay? No one can catch God off guard. So what I'm saying is, there is a covenant. A covenant is like an agreement, contract, but there's no con with God. It's just, do this, and your days and your offspring and everything to do with you will be blessed. Okay, so what is it that they had to do? Well, it's quite simple, honestly. Live a life that is honorable. What happened to honor in this generation? All I know is it's pretty much gone. I mean, there's really not that many men who keep their word, have good intentions, and stay consistent. So my weakness has always been consistency. Like, I always would honor God, one day, but another day I do things that honestly you shouldn't be doing, right? And the people always had this problem too, where they would get enticed by idols. And if you read Jeremiah 15, these people were doing all the things the other people were doing. So they were supposed to be representatives of light and of love, and who the Creator is. They're supposed to be his people. But what they did was be like everyone else. They conformed to society. They started getting into like the new age of that time, which was witchcraft, and having these little doohickeys that they prayed to, they called gods in such a stupid way. I mean, what can a piece of plastic do for you? Can it talk? Can a piece of wood talk or pray? Even no. But they're praying to it, which is so stupid. And God is telling them, hey, stop doing what you're doing, or else, because you're literally killing yourself. It has nothing to do with, honestly, it has nothing to do with these people, being absolutely perfect. It's more so their hearts. It's more so how much they fooled themselves or got fooled by others. They started following the ways and customs of people who were not holy. And holy is whole, like whole, fulfilled. Basically overcame the world type of people. Like, I'm here to conquer, I'm here to take over, this is my land, And now we're so far away from that to where the people have gotten so weak that the system has everything. And honestly, I want to take everything back according to the promises that God made. But here's the issue, is we've been taught so many things we need to unlearn. You have to unlearn what you were taught throughout your childhood to get the blessing that God has promised to our ancestors. And those same promises apply to us, contrary to popular belief. And you can actually scientifically test it. Basically, it's like what my drill sergeant said. He said, if you play stupid games, you what? You win stupid prizes. It's kind of funny because that's a similar message to what God was telling the idol worshipers and the adulterers and the fornicators and all of them. They faced horror. They had to face horror because of their whoredom. Being a dumb whore, leaving God and following the world and following the stupid traditions, their whoredom led to horror. Think about it. And the same thing happens to us, especially if we're God's children and we're raised and we're taught the 10 Commandments, right? But then you go against the teachings, the way of that leads to life, the words that lead to life, and you go some other way and you go your own way. Well, bad things are bound to happen. And I'm living proof of that. See, I used to just be like all about God's power and miracles and stuff like that. But even people who do miracles can be deceived. Even people who lay their hands on others can still be tricked and fooled into leaving the way. And I know that sounds crazy, but Jesus said the same thing. He said, he was talking about the evil servant. The evil servant who was like, hey, didn't I cast out demons in your name? Didn't I heal the sick? You know, stuff like that. And then what did the king tell him? Get away from me, you wicked servant. And now I go back to Jeremiah 15, where he said, even if Moses, or one of the most, holy prophets to ever live, came right to God and pleaded with God for you, you know what God said he'd do? Cast him out of his sight. Because the judgment was already made is one reason. He already made up his mind. But the other reason is they have not even considered to stop or feel any type of remorse for what they've done wrong, or how they've been killing themselves is a better way I'd put it. Because everybody looks at the Bible in a way where it's religious. But I tell you, it's actually the most practical advice. Because everyone in this world is so fooled and deceived about why are they sick? Why do people have diseases, right? Well, honestly, it goes back all the way to the beginning, where the first diseases were put upon mankind. The first hardships were put upon mankind. You know how people say, this is why we can't have nice things, right? I'll tell you why we can't have nice things, or why we can't feel the way we're supposed to feel. It's very simple. It's called getting fooled, being a fool, and then committing sin.
Turn left onto Central Drive.
Sin is literally anything that hurts you. It's literally anything that will hurt your own soul, your own God-given soul, if you have one, which I would hope everyone still has one. But some people do actually sell their soul. And hey, it's not my choice to make for you. Maybe you could get it back. I don't really know how that works. But if you still have one, if you have a soul, you should guard it because it's within you. And God says to guard your heart with all diligence. Your heart is actually means your inward part, your inward parts. Guard your heart. I also take it as the same thing as saying guard your soul, because it's like the opposite now. The world we've gone so far from the paradise. If you haven't noticed yet, we're so far from paradise that it's not just a beautiful garden with one snake in it that's one enemy. It's gotten to an ugly world full of ugliness with a lot of snakes, a lot of serpents who lie, a lot of lying, cheating, stealing, killing. The list goes on. Ops. They're literally ops. Because people forget, they miss the point, which is the snake. People want to say the snake is the devil. No, he was an op, designed, or a programmed, is a better word, a programmed op, physical manifestation of Satan working through a creature. That creature and Satan made an agreement. I'm serious. And the creature went and did the devil's will. And this happens with people now. I'll be so bold as to say there are people, yes, actual agents who are contracted to do Satan's work. And this is so obvious and evident now. But one lie we've been told from our youth is, we're all children of God. That's a lie. No, that's a lie. And I can never believe it because of the fruit of this world is so apparent. In the generation of Jesus Christ, which I may so be bold to say, but while it was a wicked generation, it's got nothing on this generation. They got nothing on this. Like, are you kidding me? If I'm wrong, rebuke me. Please rebuke me if I'm wrong. But is this not the most wicked generation ever? Is this not the most evil generation ever? It's got to be close. I mean, there could be, I don't know. There could be another generation worse than this one, but come on. In the generation of the Savior, he said, this is most evil generation. But look at now in comparison to back then. It's actually way worse. And I think the reason for that is because people refuse to do what is good for themselves. They get sick, they die young instead of living with long life, which there are promises in the 10 Commandments, if you didn't know, that promise you long life, like honoring your father and mother. But a lot of us cursed our parents. If you cursed your parents, you cursed yourself, by the way. If you cursed your parents, you cursed yourself, according to the word, which is true. It's 100% true. Test it. Like I said, play stupid games, and you get stupid prizes. Break the 10 Commandments and see how cursed you get. It's like the law of this realm. All the teachings that came from the mouth of the one who made this realm are true, and you can test them. Go ahead and try. Just see what happens. Like if you do stupid things, you get stupid prizes. And then there's Jeremiah 15, which applies to his people who went astray and refuse to change. They are so set in their ways that God is like, okay, you do that thing over there. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll do it. And they're literally like, okay, cool. So where are we going to go now? Because God told them, I'm going to head out. He said, all right, you know the meme? All right, I'm going to head out. you guys are too foolish. You guys are doing stupid things. You guys are doing disgusting things in my sight, so I'm gonna leave. It's like if you go to some restaurant and it's freaking disgusting, like there's trash everywhere, or you go to a store or restaurant and there's just trash all over the place. And God's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. This isn't the way it should be. This place is disgusting and gross. So he left. He left because they were being disgusting and gross. And then they're like, okay, so where are we gonna go now? And you know what the message they got? They didn't like this one. He said, well, there will be some of you that will go to the sword. Some of you will be put in jail. Some of you will, basically, you can't win while being disgusting human being. You can't win while being a ruthless, satanic creature. You can't win, is what he was telling them. But they were like, oh yeah, nah. They were basically like, nah. They just wanted to do their own thing. So they're like, okay, if you're not going to stay with us, we're going to just go do our thing. So where are we going to go? And he told them like it is. There's going to be some of y'all to the sword, some of y'all to famine, some of y'all be crushed by your enemies, some of y'all will be thrown in jail. I mean, come on. You really think you can get away with living your life disconnected from the own source that you were created from? You really think you can go your whole life rebelling against the source of all life? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. How can you live your whole life and just be ignorant to that? Like the fact that you will reap what you sow. And I don't want to use this word, this S word, because there's so much pushback. You know, there's so many people get offended when I say this word, but this is simply just you destroying yourself. This is you calling destruction on yourself when you talk about sin, when you're doing it. Sin is anything destroying yourself. And my life is living proof of that. It doesn't matter like how often you talk, you could even be like the Pharisees and you could teach great things, but if you're not walk it how you talk it, if you're not actually doing it, if you're just speaking it, then you're a hypocrite too. And your part will be with the same people who rejected the Father of lights. The Father of lights, he's the same. The reason our eyes have light in them, or our skin has light, because we are light. If you haven't figured it out by now, we're all living souls. You're a living soul. So then what is the flesh but a vessel? Even in school, they teach us, right? They say that you have cells, right? We have cells. Well, what is a cell? What is cytoplasm? Look up what cyto means. Look up what cyto is. Like, what does cyto mean? The etymology of it. You want to know? It means a vessel. Meaning you're contained in a vessel. What is cyto? Look up. It's the Greek word when it has to do with cells, which are the basic things that make up the flesh. They're literally telling you that the flesh is a vessel. So you, therefore, would be what? A living soul. Does that not make sense? You're a living soul. Look up what Saito means. It's a vessel, container. I'm not shutting up. Just go away. Just leave. I'm not going to shut up. This is true. This is the truth, bro. I don't care how you feel about it. It's true. I'm just stating the facts here. You play stupid games and you win stupid prizes. Keep the 10 Commandments and you'll be blessed. Break them and you'll be cursed. It's very simple. It's very simple. If you curse your parents, you curse yourself. If you curse me, you're cursing yourself, because you're cursing a prophet. You're cursing someone who's speaking the truth to you. But they killed Christ and they killed the prophets before him. So I get it. Okay, there's haters that really hate and they act on their hate. They're so hurt and they need a physician. This world needs someone to heal them, to show them what they're doing wrong. But when you tell these people in this generation what they're doing wrong, they automatically go into attack mode and want to kill you. Just for showing them the root cause, because they've been indoctrinated by literally the devil and his little minions. And it's very obvious because everyone trusts in the flesh, which is dead, which is just a container. So here's what I'm telling you. Logos, the word, the same word that created everything. If you go against that word, you will be cursed. But if you follow that word, you'll have a beautiful life. You will have life and abundantly life. And not only that, he gives us precious gifts that no man could ever take away from you. He gives us power that is beyond what a science book could ever understand or explain. The stupidest thing about science books is they imply that everything came from nothing. They imply that life came from non-life. It's impossible. Look at my glasses, right? Did my glasses make themselves, or were they crafted by a person or a machine? That something designed my glasses. Same as this tree. Something designed that sign. Something designed the building. So why do we look at buildings and signs and jewelry? We look at merchandise. We look at these things and we're like, yeah, whoever made this, they were cooking. They were making something great. But then you look at a human being and you're like, oh, there's no way anyone could have made that. That just came from nothing. How could such an intelligent and complex creature come from literally nothing? Just make itself? Are you kidding me? And then you got the crowd that's spiritual, but not in the right way. They say we're gods, or that they are a god, but they completely ignore the fact that if you're a god, then that's a little g god, meaning there is somebody superior, much more superior than you. You're right to believe in the power. You're right to believe that we are basically like angels, being children of God. But you're wrong if you're like thinking you are God and there's no other. Or everyone is a God and there's no one above them. Then that's obviously a lie. Because like I said, did you birth yourself? Or did your mother birth you? And then who birthed your mother? And it keeps going all the way back to Adam and Eve. Our lineages can be traced all the way back. All the way back to two people. To two people. And then they say, oh, that's incest. Okay. And there's two people that were created One was created out of the other, right? So if you want to get technical, Adam mated with his own rib. And if you're really crazy, you could call that masturbation, but it's not. It's one living creature with another living creature. One living creature and another living creature that was created out of the first living creature that God formed. First living creature put into the garden. Then they were what? Fruitful, and they multiplied. The commandment was be fruitful and multiply. So that's what they did. And they didn't look at it through the Pharisee lens, or the lens that people today are so, they overcomplicate everything. And that's what the Pharisees did. They were trying to shut everyone out of heaven by making it seem impossible or feel impossible when it's actually so simple. It's so simple. It's actually so simple. If you read the entire Bible, there's a theme through the whole thing. It's very simple. The righteous live forever and the wicked perish. The ones who do justice live forever and the wicked perish. And how do we know who is right or wrong? It's because the law and the teachings and the prophets, they tell you what is a right thing to do, what is a wrong thing to do. They went to them for advice. They were prophets gave advice to these people because they love these people. They had the love of God, and the word of God was in them. And they're like, hey, dude, you're about to walk off a cliff if you do this. Hey, Mr. King, you got a great empire. Your empire's great, but it can fall flat tomorrow because of the way you're living your life. But of course, a king doesn't want to hear that. They're like, get out of my office, get this peasant out of here. Get this peasant out. That's the way they think. That's the way people think, right? It's the way we're programmed to think. This poor guy is telling the king like how to do his life. And they don't understand, though, the prophet was actually sent by the one who made the king and made me and made you and made everyone else. And just because he's not wearing a Rolex and a beautiful scarf and a beautiful raiment, he showed up in rags. But he got to the king to deliver the message. Somehow this peasant got to the king, delivered the message, gave the pharaoh or the king the message. Then the king or the pharaoh's like, no, get out of here. And then the exact thing that poor guy said came to pass. But it's not because the poor guy has super special powers or the poor guy is God. No, he was sent by God. He is of God, but he was sent. But then they killed him. And then the cycle continues. Messengers, they come, they're sent, they go out, they do all these things. They work hard, they preach, they tell the truth, and then they get what? Excommunicated, thrown in jail, abused, killed, all the above. But the devil was a murderer from the beginning, and the sons of Cain all did murder and sacrifice and trafficking and all the wicked things we still have today. It's just gotten so much worse. But the end is near, so get right. Just tidy up and read the Bible. Understand how simple salvation is. The ones who kept the what? The word. They kept the law, the commandments, and the testimony. They were saved. It's that simple.